It stops hurting, so don't worry.
Hello and welcome to
Gank
the Drink. Yeah. Welcome to Gank That Drink, a supernatural drinking game podcast. I am Krissy Lenz, comedian director at the Neighborhood Comedy Theater. And with me, as always, is fellow comedian at the Neighborhood Comedy Theater, Nate McQuarter.
Hello, Krissy.
And oh gosh, you know what we love to do? We love to make up drinking game rules and play along with our favorite episodes of our favorite show, Supernatural, in the hopes
What
of...
is Supernatural? I'm not aware of that show today.
No, you've never heard of it?
Never heard of it in my life. There's only one show I have heard of on this day, Krissy.
Oh, what show is that?
It's a show that unfortunately only has a pilot episode.
Oh,
Never made it past the pilot, I don't believe. And it's called Ghostfacers, Krissy.
Ghostfacers.
Oh.
It's a ghost when the others will not.
We are ganking the drinks when others will not, while drinking or while watching Ghostfacers.
And we're staying in the kitchen when the kitchen gets hot.
And we're ganking the drinks whether they're cold or they're hot. I've already written the song. We should have just opened the show with the whole thing. Anyway, we're talking Ghostfacers, Krissy.
We are. We're talking Ghostfacers today. We make up drinking game rules for every episode. We play along with them. We tell you how they played out. So feel free to listen to the rules, pause, watch the episode, and come back to hear the recap. Or, I know some of you are just here for the recap, so that's fine. But on this fine day, what rules do we play along with? Season 3, episode 13, Ghostfacers.
All right, Supernatural 313. Ghostfacers, we are talking Harry and or Ed. You can play any variation of this rule. You can make it one drink, you can make it a sip. I think when we played, chose to make it when it was like one of their names said as basically like a singular line or like with just like a little extra meaning or oomph to it. So again, that's one that I love in all their episodes. They say their names a bunch like it's a dang Dawson's Creek episode. And,
yep, they sure do.
Yeah. So that is one rule. The next rule is going to be just Ghostfacers in like any of its most pure forms, including if you are playing in a group and you want to like waterfall the intro song or take sips or, maybe just not do the intro song and do any other time it does it throughout the show.
I counted the song as one.
Yeah, basically that's what I did as well. Just count the song as one and move on. We are playing, as always, the GANK rule, which I think we've established as maybe an all-time rule here. At least if in episodes where we notice it. And then anytime there's a death echo, take a drink.
Take that drink.
Take a drink for every bleep. And
which
I think I even missed one. I think when I did my rewatch just before this, I was like, I think I didn't even count that one. And we're playing the Sammy rule, which we always love. And then one of my favorite rules is the salt circle rule. And that is coming into play in this episode for sure. So, which is take a drink if there's a salt circle, take 2 anytime someone steps out of the salt circle.
And I want to make a nomination that I wrote down during my watch of this, which is, I love to make my favorite lines into shots / 2 drinks. Take a shot / 2 drinks anytime someone calls someone chisel chest.
There's a lot. There's so much in this episode. There's so many layers to it. And yeah, I love it. So let's jump. Are you drinking anything this evening, or did you write down what you drank when you did the watch?
I'm drinking something very boring. I'm drinking a Topo Chico exotic pineapple hard seltzer. It's my
Ooh.
go-to drink whenever I don't have anything fancy on hand.
That is plenty fancy. I know what that costs at the grocery store, so that's plenty fancy. I am drinking. I'm actually drinking and not drinking. I am drinking the Lagunitas Hoppy Refresher out of the Variety 12-pack, the berry and lemon flavor.
Oh, that sounds delish.
Yeah, it is a 0 alcohol, 0 carbs, 0 calories, gluten-free drink.
What?
Yeah.
That sounds amazing.
It is a 0 alc splash with a zesty zing. It tastes pretty good. And they have this whole line of hoppy refreshers, which are 0 alcohol, like hop water. There's one that very distinctly tastes like hops. That's not this one, but now they have some flavored ones from Lagunitas. So yeah, and
I'm gonna have to give that a whirl.
Definitely. That's what I am drinking tonight. So, you want to jump? Are we jumping in?
We're jumping
in?
We're leaping.
Jump.
We're getting into that kitchen, even though the kitchen is hot.
Oh, stay in the kitchen when the kitchen gets hot. That is, I just love the lines of the song are so good. So we have our then. I honestly don't even. There's some sort of situation going on with the boys at this point. It's not terribly relevant to anything that we're doing in this episode or anything at all. So we basically, the main part of the then is that we're reminded of Hell Hounds, of Harry and Ed, and the tulpa that the boys nearly got him killed in Texas. So we're reminded of them, and we jump right into there's like not really a supernatural. They like half do the supernatural whoosh title, but like half don't do it. It's very odd. It's a strange choice. And they jump right into Harry and Ed saying, "Hello, TV executives," addressing male TV executives, of course, not even considering there might be female TV executives. And they are pitching their pilot and all the daring lengths that they went through to get this to them. And their pitch is that, like, if the writer's strike is happening, so like, yeah, we've got something, no script, here you go, like, and this was a thing. The writer's strike happened, and like the big thing was all the reality shows. This is where like all the Housewives shows came from. This whole thing, like everything. I mean, we were already going into
so ahead of their time.
They really are. They are in so many ways. They actually invent the phrase FaceTime, as far as I'm convinced, because I believe this came out before FaceTiming was a thing. And so that's later on in the episode, but they basically say, get ready because here comes an amazing thing. So we get to the Ghostfacers intro where we roll through the cast, and I love that they include Sam and Dean in the cast. That's awesome. Dean, of course, like flipping off the camera is his little turn head. But we meet the Ghostfacers, which of course are Harry and Ed, but then we have Ed's stepsister, Maggie, and then we have the cameraman Spruce. Spruce is the best. I love Spruce, and I love Spruce's intro. His day job, Krissy, he is a cart barn guy at the golf course, or at least he's like a range picker at a range. I used to drive one of those little cars around, and I mean, I didn't work at a time of day when a lot of people were shooting at me like they did, but great job too. Like, I'm sure there were like 5 PAs chucking golf balls at this dude as he drove.
What a fun day on set.
But his intro is so good. He's on screen very little, but he does a great job. And then Corbett, who is the emotional center of this whole episode, played by, I didn't bother to remember his name. Abby is going to yell it from the other room, I know. But it's the guy who plays Ted on Schitt's Creek.
It's our Ted
he's
from
a little
Schitt's Creek.
baby Ted. and I just I forgot when I chose this episode that he was in it, and then he pops on screen, and I swoon.
Oh, you can't forget Corbett.
Swoon. Can't
He's the
forget
cutest.
Corbett. I just forgot that Corbett was Ted. That's all.
Yeah.
So yeah, we have our cast. And of course, Sam and Dean are introduced in the credits of Ghostfacers, but we don't meet them till partway through the pilot. So the pilot, they show up to the house. One of my favorite lines is like, "You didn't have a permit?" Like, oh right, a permit. Yeah, we should think about that next time.
We should get that for next time.
They cut, but of course the boys drive up while they're trying to break into the Morton house. So the Morton house is the location for this. This is the leap year ghost. That people every year try to stay the night on leap year, and people go missing, or the Ghostfacers at least think that people just chicken out. They don't realize there's a bunch of missing persons reports.
Yep.
So they get into the Morton house by getting in, but the boys like roll up before they get in there, and they're just like, it's hillbillies. They're playing "We're an American Band." Yeah, they're going there. They're playing that loud and proud. Got a few bars in there. I'm surprised season 3 and they're paying for the music. That's I think maybe one of the earliest actually like licensed songs outside of "Carry On" or a Bob Seger that we've probably heard. I think everything else till this point is pretty generic. So anyway, they get into the Morton house. They set up base camp, or as Harry calls it, the Eagle's Nest.
The Eagle's Nest.
We get a good montage.
They've got a pretty good, like, it really is like almost identical to like the Ghost Hunters International and like all those shows.
Yes, all your Travel Channel. Like
they've got like the cameras that are attached to all their heads. They set up cameras in each of the rooms. They've got the EMF. They've got the different sensors and things. So I mean, they've got a pretty expensive and extensive setup.
Yeah, I want to. Where Harry and I got this funny. Because they have this great line in their intro of, "Yeah, we pretty much run things at the Kinko, so we're off by 6 like every night."
Yep.
And so but they do, you're right, like there's some funding behind this pilot for sure. They've got
I
the
bet
cameras.
It's their parents. They're like, you can have this money to buy your equipment, but you got to take your sister.
And we definitely always see that because there's the scene where they're like set up before they go to the Morton house, and the garage opens and it's like the dad. They're like, "Cut this out, you can't put this in there." And of course they do. They put it in the cut. It's weird. Ends up not mattering, but they put it in the cut. So they were back at the Morton house, and they're setting up, and they're feeling pretty good about themselves. They start checking everything, checking rooms. There's the great scene where they open the room, and Harry gets scared by all the mice.
Yeah, the gross dead mice.
The gross dead mice, and he runs away. That's a funny moment. They do a good job of like doing the build the tension, build suspense, and again, it makes it they wonderfully stylized episode, making it feel like one of those shows that you would find on the Discovery, or just one of those like real ghost shows that are still very popular to this day. They're still
very popular, very beloved by my kids.
Are you into them? Do you fancy them?
I don't, because to me it's just, I can't deal with the screaming. It's like quiet. Whoa, whoa. I'm like, oh my God, just tell me the history of the house that you're in. That's what I'm here for.
Right. I prefer more of the ones that are like the narrative stylized, like reenactment-y types.
Yeah.
But the ones that are like, yeah, we're gonna go and camp in the house and get all the like real footage.
Although there used to be a show called MTV's Fear that I loved, where they would make people like go to those places and like do dares, and they would win money if they did stay in the house overnight. I liked that show. That
sounds fun. I never watched that. Maybe I'll check that out. I'm sure you can check anything out. It's probably on Paramount Plus. It's an MTV thing. So they get everything set up. They're checking out rooms. They're trying to figure it out, and then they split into the two groups. So you got Corbett and Ed, and they kind of start alluding to this a little earlier on, but basically Corbett really has a thing
He's
for
got a
Ed.
crush.
He's
By the
got
way,
yes.
Dustin Milligan is
Dustin
his
Milligan,
name.
thank you. I knew once he said it. I did not have it written down right in front of me. Wonderful job, Mr. Milligan. If you're listening, by chance, always a great job. And
We love you.
yeah, we love you. Come on the show. Uh, just always throwing that out there. Anyone who knows him, let him know. Always welcome. So we get a death echo. They split into two groups. We get a death echo, and I believe it is the group with Harry and Maggie and Spruce. I'll see it correct because then it's Ed and Corbett are split off, and it is a guy that gets like all shot up.
He's like a gambler.
Yeah, he says, "It's all the money I got," and then gets shot, and then it goes away. And they all they see the ghost, so they are freaking out. They're loving it. At that same time, meanwhile, the other two think that they're going to be seeing it, that they're seeing a ghost, that they got something, and it turns out it's Sam and Dean.
Yep.
And they're like, "We're cops. Show us ID." And Corbett gives him, what does he call? He calls him Rambo.
Yeah. Because he's in like head to toe fatigues.
Yeah, head to foot, fatigues, and he's got like the night vision and everything. They call him RoboCop earlier on. So, like I say, Corbett looking like RoboCop. So Ed obviously recognizes Dean and Sam. Says, "Wait a minute, these guys aren't cops. I know you." And then the boys are like doing their thing, like, "You got to get out of here. You don't understand the freaking Morton house." And I love the conversation the two boys have at some point, like, "Hunt the Morton house. It's our grandkid. You said it'd be fun." Yeah,
because we're still waiting for Dean to get sucked down to hell. At
correct.
This point.
Dean only has a couple months left before he gets sucked down to hell. That is the context of the season, which as we know, 12 years on, keeps going. So get sucked to hell all you want. Eventually, they just walk to hell. They just
they pop down to hell to say hey
an
to
express
friends.
train out of Lower Manhattan, and you get to hell eventually. So the boys then show up and are like, "You guys got to get out of here. Someone's gonna get hurt. Something's gonna happen." Lo and behold, Corbett going off on his own, because then they discuss the death echoes. They show the boys the death, and the boys are like, "This isn't good. This isn't a ghost. This is something else." I love Spruce always following him around, like, "What's a death echo? What do you mean you have 2 months left?"
Yeah, asking all the questions. And it's like, and they explain a death echo is not a ghost, it's someone who's stuck in the moment that they died. So it's like, why is this death echo in this house? It's none of the missing people that they can account for.
Correct. So the boys are trying to figure it out. Meanwhile, Corbett goes off to try to figure out for himself if he can communicate with the spirits. And boy, do they communicate, because our friendly ghost guy, whatever he ends up being, Mr. Morton, just takes him and he starts screaming, and we get the wonderful job of like the title at the bottom coming up and saying, February 28th, 11:59, February 29th, 12, and you get the like silence followed by another scream, and they're all looking for him. So now the boys are really on the case, trying to help save Corbett, and they're looking through. They start tearing the house apart, looking through this guy's stuff, and they discover that he was a janitor at the hospital. And as they continue digging, they see all these like C rations. He's got like anti nuclear, like what to do in case of a nuclear attack propaganda, like pamphlets sitting around. So like clearly this guy is like Cold War paranoid. He died in 1964, I think is what they said. And he died in the house. And that was the last time anybody had seen anyone in that house other than the people who then went missing, but no one saw it. Anyway, so they start learning all this stuff, and like while they're trying to learn it and figure things out, all of a sudden he strikes again. Sammy goes missing. So we're down.
Sammy. Did we see the train guy yet?
Oh, there was the train guy. That is the second Death Echo. I think before they start doing the digging, yes, there's the second Death Echo, which is the guy that gets hit by the train. And that's when they're like, "There was no freaking way this guy died
There's
here."
no train here. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's no train. I'm glad we didn't see the third one. Right? They never showed the third one. Thank goodness.
Yeah, I think the next one we see
is Corbett. Because they said that the third guy that died, it was like a suicide. I'm like, good job not showing that, guys. So they get in. Sammy goes missing, and so this is when Dean really gets is like, freaking out because he's all by himself with all these amateurs who are like making out with each other and fighting one another. Like the Ghostfacers fall apart during all of this, just completely fall apart. Harry starts making out with Maggie. Ed loses his mind.
My best friend and my sister.
My best sister. Best friend and my best sister. Yeah. So Dean's got to break him up. He's like, we're already down 2 people. Let's get this figured out. So Dean all of a sudden is like, wait a minute. This guy, he like brings home, they learn during all the, like found the toe tags of the Death Echoes, which is then when they're realizing that their bodies are somewhere here and that this janitor was doing inappropriate things with said bodies, most likely.
Well, he was just trying to have a birthday party.
He was just trying to have a birthday party.
It's his party.
It's a really sad, like when you really think about that guy, it's I think later Supernatural seasons may have tried to find a softer way to deal with this guy, maybe even. Who knows? He's still murdery though as a ghost. That's what's crazy.
Well, and I think that's crazy too, like because he didn't murder the people he stole from the morgue.
No, he's just murdering people who come to stay in the house.
So we should have seen some of their Death Echoes too. Or we should have seen their bodies at the party.
Right, that's what I was thinking. And also Sammy pseudo explains that this guy like locked the bodies in the bunker and then OD'd on horse tranks upstairs.
Right.
Like that was like very thin explanation of what actually happens. Like a very throwaway line. It doesn't really matter, but every time I've watched it for this, I'm like, gosh, they really phoned that one.
Right.
On the plot. It was all about Corbett, and it was all about Corbett and Ed, and it was all about just getting the Ghostfacer style in there and everything. So we get Sammy's down there. He's tied up. He sees Corbett. He's trying to tell him to hang in there. Corbett gets murdered like right away.
He gets ganked.
In
the saddest way because he seems so scared. He's such a good actor.
He is really good. And his eyes. And so then Sammy's got to stall until Dean can finally figure out that he's in the bunker, and he gets down there. I don't remember when this is, but one of my favorite moments is when Harry tries to kick down a door, and they're like, dude, just the knob. Just use the knob.
And then they use the knob, and he kicks it anyway.
Yeah. He kicks the door. I think that's when he does the mice. I think it's when he finds the mouse. I think that's when it... And so, they get down to the basement. We get our fight with the ghost. But actually, before they get down to the actual ghost, Dean and Spruce get separated from Maggie, Harry, and Ed. And we have the great line where Dean says, go in my duffel bag, get the salt out, pour it in a circle, get inside. And then Harry and Ed sit there inside the duffel bag, inside the circle. It's so good. Like they take so many opportunities to kind of make a meal of some of the like basic stuff. Even this, like Layden. I love it.
Inside the duffel bag?
Inside the duffel bag. So Dean gets to fight the bad guy. He shoots him with the rock salt down in the basement. Gets Sammy untied. They get back up topside. But before they do, the three in the circle see Corbett's death echo.
Death Echo.
And this is
And he
like,
seems so sad and scared.
yeah, very sad, very scared. And they're able to wake him up because they explained earlier in the episode that you can wake a death echo out of its loop by if you like had a personal connection with it. They make a very like clear point of saying that is the way it can happen. So Ed steps in front of Corbett and says that he loves him. And like, again, times that this was written, they make like several references of like gay love. And it's like,
Yeah.
if it were written even a few seasons later, they would have just said love and it would have been that. And it's just like one of those things that you're like, man, even this wasn't that long ago. That's how things were
what
written.
is the lady says? Something like, go save that dead gay intern.
yeah, go save that gay day. Yeah. And then Harry says it again, like at the end, like gay love can say, like, I don't know. Yeah, it's just weird when they could have just said love and
Love
that
is
be
love.
that.
Love is love,
Love
friends.
is
Love is love,
love.
Ghostfacers.
Yeah. So they are able to shake Corbett out of his loop just in time because as everybody gets up back topside, Mr. Morton is like attacking people again, and Corbett like flies at him and tackles him and makes him disappear,
Drags him away,
kills him, I guess.
I don't know if he kills him so much as like lets the, I don't know. Does he drag him into the light, or does he just let
They just kind of
everyone
like
escape?
meld and like dissipate. It's very, again, when it came to the plot of this one,
Didn't make tons of sense.
Very thin on some details. It was very odd. It was a little bit. It's a little bit like the LARP and the Real Girl, which was the he's going to face tribunal somewhere in a fairy realm. Who knows? Why not?
Yeah, he's going to the the Hollow Forest.
We're planning on doing 15 seasons of the show. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. Don't think too hard.
Right.
Just enjoy all the bleeps.
Which is the best. The bleeps that I love. That
I love the idea that Sam and Dean are out there like swearing constantly, and we just haven't seen it in any of the other episodes. I would love it though if they were always bleeped.
It would be. It would be pretty fun. Or if they did it like there's a couple shows that do like the one an episode or something. We then get, first of all, there's the one Ghostfacers that is over Ted's dead face.
Yeah.
And I sit there and I go, if you were making this as a pilot, there's so much wrong with it that you didn't have to do. Like,
well, and I think Sam says it at the end, like you did, you really walked the line between celebrating the life of your friend and grossly exploiting the way the manner of his death.
Yes, yeah. Oh, yeah, which is exactly what the whole episode really is. But it's so funny. Yeah, so they get out of the house. They do it. They're out of the house, and we finally get like back to supernatural.
And one thing that really like sort of struck me was that Sam and Dean give their like business card to all of the Ghostfacers in case they ever need their help again.
Yeah, they're part of the network now. The Ghostfacers are like, now they're in, you know, they've dealt with real stuff. They've had the Tulpa, they've had this. Now they're in the Sam and Dean call us if you need us network.
Right.
Which is a good place to be.
Yeah.
In the
Especially
supernatural
if you're going to be
world.
running around getting yourself into trouble like these cats do.
Yeah. So, we get back to Supernatural, and they're all in the Ghostfacers garage and watching the footage. And the boys are like, honestly, it's not half bad. It's pretty good, like how it turned out. We get the line from Sam about like, good job on the Corbett thing, but not really. And the boys leave a little duffel bag with a magnet in it to Breaking Bad their butts.
Yep. They erase it.
Before Breaking Bad did it.
World is not ready.
before Breaking Bad did it. The world is not ready. No, the world might be ready now for like aliens, but the world is not ready for
I'm not ready for
Ghostfacers.
aliens.
I'm not ready for aliens. Have you thought about that? I haven't.
No, I don't
I've
want to
been
think
too
about it. I
busy.
don't want to talk about it.
Too
I don't want to
busy.
know about it. Yep.
So, I just love that that's something we just say now. Have you thought
Yeah.
about the fact there might be aliens? Like,
I have not, and
no
I
one's
shan't.
told us. So that's Ghostfacers. And Krissy, let's talk rules.
Let's talk rules, because boy oh boy did I play a lot of rules.
Yeah, I did too.
It was a heavy-handed one.
Yep. All right, Harry's and Ed's.
I got 5, 10, 15, 16.
Yeah.
Is that what you got?
So I counted 4 Harrys, but then I counted 9 Eds. So I'm at 13. But like,
And
again,
technically I'm
there's
at
so many in there.
16, 17, 18. I'm at 20 because I counted Ed or Harry, and then I counted Ed and Harry.
Ed and Harry, yeah. So I'm sure it is more close to that, because I think I just stopped writing things down at some point. All right, Ghostfacers.
I counted the song as 1.
Yep.
So I got 12.
12.
What did you
I
get?
got 7.
Oh.
Huh. But like, again, maybe I just stopped marking at some point or wasn't counting. Like these
Usually
first
I'm
2,
the one who misses them,
right?
and you're the one who gets them.
This is a turn of drinks here. So we obviously had our one GANK.
Yep, 1 GANK.
1 GANK. I count 4 Death Echoes.
I also got 4 Death Echoes.
Okay. I have 8 bleeps.
I also have 8 bleeps.
Yay! I thought maybe I missed one when I was rewatching here today. There's a really quick Dean one I thought I missed, but I must have caught it. I got 3 Sammys.
I got 3 Sammys too.
Woohoo!
We're getting so much better at this.
We are. We really are.
It only took us like 5 years.
And then I got we made 1 salt circle and they left it twice.
They left it twice. That's exactly what I got.
Yay!
We
All
did
right.
it.
And then of course the line chisel chest when
chisel chest happens
when
once.
Dean and Harry first. Hey, wait! Aren't these the guys from BLEEP in West Texas?
Yay!
Listen here, chisel chest. All right, Krissy. That was Ghostfacers. We can go back to being supernatural drinking game podcast now, I guess.
What's next? You might
What
be
is
asking
next?
yourself. Well, up next, we're visiting season 7, episode 14, Plucky Pennywhistle's Magical Menagerie.
Yes!
You remember this one?
I do. It is. This is the. Hold on. I believe I remember this. This is the one with the at the like kids place, the like Peter Pipery type place, and the kids drawing things. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, I don't know if the audience could hear that. That was a chill that just went up and down my spine, because
Killer
that's
clowns, scary
actually
clowns.
a creepy episode.
It is.
And I'm just realized I'm gonna have to watch it. Woo!
Yep, you gotta watch it. Season 7, episode 14. And here are your rules. Of course, the GANK rule. Sammy rule, of course. Take a drink anytime something explodes in glitter. Take a drink anytime there's a weird death. Not just a death, but a weird death.
Weird death.
Take a drink anytime someone refers to Plucky Pennywhistle's Magical Menagerie as Pluckies.
Yes.
Take a drink for a rainbow butt. Take a drink when you see the countdown clock. Take a drink for skee ball justice. And take a drink for a lion chase.
Yes.
And that's all of the drinking game rules for Plucky Pennywhistle's Magical Menagerie.
I love it. And I love that. I do love that episode. It's really good. It's one of my, I'm so happy you chose it.
Yay.
Because it was one that was on my list for sure.
Thank you for listening. Thank you for playing along. We really appreciate you. Let us know if you got a different count. than we did, if you played a different rule, if there's a rule you love that we're missing, let us know. And if you really want to support the show, become a member. You get a little bit of bonus action each episode, and you get some merch and swag from me.
Ooh.
And while you're out there in the world saving people and hunting things, the family business, make sure to keep your lessons learned in mind. What are they, Nate?
Don't face the ghosts.
And you know what? Get out of the kitchen when
Get
the
out.
kitchen gets hot.
Yeah, get out.
Keep your Corbetts safe.
Always. And we love Ted, Dustin, Milligan.
And be excellent to each other.
And
party on,
party
dude.
on, dudes.